Okay, g'day, how you going? So my name is Glenn, and today I'm at an exposure of the Riddle Sandstone. Actually, it's not really a sandstone. What do they class it as? Yeah, sandstone, but obviously, I've got these on the cue cards. It says uncommon sandstone, so it's more like an actual siltstone. So here we have some of the actual rock, and this feels very silty in the actual feel. And here we have another massive siltstone. Obviously this one is probably, they're all probably weathered and the colour has actually changed. So do I see any fossils in that? It's hard to tell if there's sunglasses. Yeah, probably not. But it does contain shales, which do contain graptolites. Obviously I don't see any shales. If there are any shales, they'd actually be very thin, because this seems to be a thin bedded formation instead of it being massive. Anyway, I'll take those, put on the garden at home. It's actually quite nice. So behind me you can see the rolling peaks of the actual formation. So I'll flip this around so we can get a better view. You have beautiful farm country. This has been cleared, but this section here, obviously they've got the power lines, so it can still be farmland, but it needs access to the power companies. Okay, so the best exposure you can find with the actual siltstone is here. So this is pretty much just the track that leads up to the power lines. You can see the cars go on it. It's been covered in basalt cobbles, which is artificially being broken up. So this is the actual formation here, and as you can see, this looks like a massive bed formation. Or if we look on the other side of the road and you look at the formation, it looks thin bedded. So, and this has been extensively eroded. So this road cutting is probably at least 50 years old, I'd say. That's just a guesstimate. It's not really specific. But here you can actually see the bedding in the actual formation. And it looks like the thickest is probably going to be 30 centimeters. And then you've got thin bands, which is probably the sandstone. And that's been indurinated with iron oxide. So here I am actually on the formation itself. And even just looking at it, this just looks like a siltstone. Feels very silty, talcum powdery. So, and a lot of these pebbles, all that basalt you can see is artificial, so we discount that. Don't include it. And as you can see, this has been extensively eroded. So what is this formation supposed to be? Here we have, I don't know, it feels like siltstone, but this looks like it might be a precipitated iron oxide. So this is stained by iron oxide, and you can't really see any fossils in the actual formation, which is pretty standard because it's fairly weathered. So this is a deep marine turbidite, and it's supposed to be a large fan. So if you look up the Bengal fan, this is supposed to be larger than that. So this is all fan deposits. Now the deposition is, so that's north, south is behind me. deposition should be dipping this way, but obviously it's been altered by faulting, so that's why the dipping looks like it's going this way. There you have a lot of colluvium. So here we do have a sandstone. So we have a siltstone, then we have a sandstone, heavily iron oxidized, and then this also grades into another siltstone. Actually, that feels like a silty sandstone. And then you get the pure siltstone. So if we take it by superposition, and that's the oldest, actually, based on the formation, yeah, that will be the oldest, and it gets younger this way. So we have quite environment where turbidite has been deposited down slope, and then for some reason an energy influx happened and it caused this sand to be moved, and the silt would have been transported down slope, deposited down slope, and then over a certain amount of time it become quiet again, then it become totally quiet. Obviously, because we don't have any shirts, which is just dead animals dropping to the ocean floor, yeah, this still feels a bit sandy. So because we don't have any shirts, it's not totally quiet. Okay, so here we have more of the formation, and this has only been exposed because of the road cutting. So the road looks quite nice. Obviously they just recently paved it, probably in the last 2 years. And here we have another sandstone. It's heavily weathered, and also weathered siltstone. So if you pick some up, do you see any fossils? Yeah, no. So because it's sunny, I can't actually see what's on screen and what I'm filming. So if you have a look, this siltstone looks quite thick. So this looks actually quite nice. So we've got these sort of water tank. It's got a platypus on it, which would be in these water courses. And it's got who the actual pattern, the actual artist. Looks fairly simple design, shouldn't be too hard for anyone to do. Okay, firefighting water supply. And here we have a conservation area. So the trees, we have a lot of she oak, so they're trying to make a she oak forest. And we have some eucalypts and wattles. So you can actually, there's a gap here, so you can actually access this area. And what am I seeing here? Obviously they haven't transplanted the actual native grasses. Looks like a lot of them is just serrated tussock grass. Oh sorry, I was going to show you the formation. I get distracted quite a lot. And it looks like you can actually go down. Somewhere down there. So this is she oak. So this is not the leaf, this is still part of the branch. And here we actually have the fruit or flowers developing. Oh no, they don't have flowers. There's lots of dragonflies. So obviously nice. Let's see if this slope actually has access. So I do see some weathered material, but nothing to get excited about. Okay, so this looks like the best of the formation here. So nothing really interesting. As you can see, it's fairly weathered. Can't really tell the formations, but once again, this should be sandstone. It's indurated with iron oxide. Okay, more massive. So this has been weathered quite a long, good period of time than the actual road cutting. What I want to look is this over here. Okay, looks like we have some pressure material, which feels like sandstone, siltstone, looks like more sandstone, fairly weathered, siltstone. So siltstone is fairly soft material, so damn, I was hoping that was a fossil. No. So when it weathers, it actually breaks fairly readily, and so we have sand and siltstone mixed, and this is highly weathered. Although that's nothing. You can see how the iron oxide's been precipitated in between the cracks. And it looks like this is the planar bedding. So you can still see the bedding. This is probably the siltstone, it's probably the sandstone. This is softer, gets eroded a lot easier. And this is harder. Obviously it soaks up the iron oxide, makes it even harder. And the same with here. Okay, so that's basically all there is to see on on this slope. I'll just go quickly look at the road cutting again. Okay, we've got some cows over there. They look delicious. And because it's summer here, if you stand around, the insects are just going to eat you. So I doubt if many people actually come here. But going to come to this place probably come midday. There's a lot of traffic now from people going from work to home. It's about 4 o'clock, I think. So this looks like nice grazing country. And someone's house is up there. A lot of reforested area. One thing you can see with this road cutting is you can see the actual soil layer on top. So the regolith probably be quite thick. So regolith is just a term that they use to describe weathered rock. So the regolith on the hills probably only about that thick. Yeah, I can't see it, probably about that thick. So regolith is a term they use for soil development. So it includes the soil and the broken up rocks underneath, but probably also the actual sorry, I got a bit distracted. So regolith just includes the broken soil and the soil on top. Okay, so there's a nice good 2 metre gap between the road and the actual road cutting. So this all looks like siltstone, also fairly weathered. This has a lot of iron oxide in it. And then we have what looks like sandstone formation. So it's fairly highly oxidized with iron oxides, quite weathered, and you can see the actual contact between the two of the formations, which is fairly abrupt so they don't grade into each other. So obviously we had a quiet time, and then all of a sudden there was just a huge influx, probably a turbidite flow. But it's too eroded, you can't actually tell if that is fairly eroded. And yeah, that might be fossil, but yeah, it's too hard to tell on that. So anyway, yeah, it's too noisy here. So hopefully I'll find another exposure of the Riddle Sandstone, because this actually looks quite interesting. I actually like this. Oh look, roadworks, you can go 40 k's an hour. And once you finish touching the actual siltstone, that's what your hands look like. Anyway, thank you, hope this was a bit informative, but now I'm going home. Hooroo.